All right, so here are a few good tips I want to leave you with. All right, when it comes to media buying, when I start out with a new ad, all right, with a new banner ad, I want to typically start out with a 300 by 250 banner size. The reason for that is because normally that kind of banner size would be placed above the fold. All right, and now what's above the fold? Well, it's when the web page loads up. Okay, the stuff that you see without having to scroll down, well, that's called above the fold. Okay, so I want to place my ads above the fold if at all possible, at any time possible. Okay, why? Because obviously you get more exposure, you get more people seeing your ads, and that's important, you know. So 300 by 250 banner size is a very, very good size to start with, especially if you're just getting your feet wet with this. Keep that in mind. Okay, start small. Okay, especially when you're just getting started, start with direct buys, then go to intermediate buys, then scale big with the big networks. Okay, but again, you're not going to go to networks until you really get really, really good with direct buys and intermediate buys. All right, now make publishers and reps your ally. A lot of people, they have this short-term thinking, short-term vision. They just want to place an ad now, and they just want to win, to their way of thinking, and sometimes they're being rude to publishers and reps, when trying to negotiate good deals. Don't make those mistakes. I mean, these are mistakes that can cost you a lot of money in the long run. Be cool with publishers. When you're dealing with reps or publishers, listen. These are the people who can help you scale your business like you will not believe. These are the people who will recommend you good stuff. These are the people who you can come back later, and hopefully potentially strike exclusive deals and things like that. I never ever want to piss any of the publishers or reps that I'm dealing with. Okay, just be cool. It's just a good thing to do. Keep track of your numbers. Okay, it's important to know your how much you're paying, CPM, cost per thousand, right? EPC, earnings per click, right? How many people clicked on your offer, on your ad, versus what is your, how much money in the bank you're getting from that. Okay, so if you can track all that, I know we're going into some very advanced kind of tracking stuff, which we will cover in great detail here moving forward into the training as we progress with this training. But ultimately, you want to know what your earnings per click are, right? You want to know what your cost per click, obviously how much you're paying per click, how much that ends up costing you, cost per action or cost per acquisition, right? Long-term value or long-term customer value, depending on what you're promoting. These are important statistics to know. Why is that important? Well, it's because if I know that for every sale, right, my long-term customer value is, let's say, $800, right? And I can acquire that customer for $50. You know what? I can virtually crush my competition, right? Because I know my numbers, right? But if you don't know your numbers, it's very difficult for you to scale. It's very difficult for you to, you kind of shoot in the dark. You don't know where your boundaries are. Make sense? So this is important to know. What I would recommend you do is start a spreadsheet and just record your data. Just record your data. Where are you advertising? What are your statistics? How much are you paying? Create that for you and make that something that you come back to often, when advertising. And then what you do is you leverage this data for new buys. So if you have some data from the last 3 campaigns you ran, and then if you want to start your 4th campaign or 5th campaign, well, you have something to fall back on, right? And at least get an idea of how your previous campaigns performed. Again, I mean, basic stuff I know, but no, so many people just don't think about this. As far as people say, Vic, what is the safe average for click-through rate on my banners? And you know what I say, look, if you just figure, again, I'm not here to guarantee or promise that's what you're gonna have. You may have more or less, right? But from my experience, if you just figure about 0.5% click-through rate, what does that mean? Well, if you place your banner, right, and it's been, and you have 100,000 impressions, okay. Well, I would generally figure about 0.5% of those people to actually click on your banner. Okay, that's called a click-through rate, 0.5%. Okay, so that way it will tell you. Okay, so if we take the calculator here, we're actually gonna pull this up right now as I'm talking to you on my little good old iPhone here. All right, so let's say if there is 100,000 impressions, okay, divided by 0.005, right? That's the 0.5%. Okay, 100,000 times 0.005. Okay, I'm looking at roughly about 500 clicks. Okay, so that's about 0.5%. If you figure those numbers, you should be fine. Okay, make sure that you have an out clause. Okay, again, I talked about that in the last video, and this is more appropriate for, or this applies to big networks and big buys, right? So your out clause may be 24 hours, 48 hours, or 7 days. Obviously, the shorter the better, right? And along the same lines, I want to make sure that I have even delivery. Even if I'm promoting with intermediate networks, which you should not have any issues with intermediate networks or agencies. This is more for the big networks. I want to make sure that my traffic is delivered evenly, right, across the day or across the week or however, across a month. Okay, so I don't have spikes like 200,000 impressions today and then no impressions tomorrow. Make sense? All right, so frequency cap, very important. Again, this goes back to the big network buys more so than anything else. I want my ad to show one time per 24 hours. Okay, one show per 24 hours. I don't want my ads to be repeated. Obviously, if somebody saw my ad and didn't click on it, I don't want to show the same ad to the same person again, and then just drive my my impressions. Make sense? And then I want to pay based on my statistics. Okay, I want to pay based on my statistics. So my friend, this is about it as far as giving you some tips on how this stuff works. I hope this stuff makes sense to you. Listen, don't overcomplicate it. I know I gave you a lot of information here in this module, right? What I want you to do is, again, just take a look at what you learned, right? Direct buys, intermediate buys, start experimenting with it. Again, start small. Don't make it difficult, right? Start small, set aside $50 or $100 and start playing with this, okay? Go create yourself some ads, and start going through this. Now, if you resonate with this, great, go at it. If this doesn't resonate with you, great. Listen, don't worry about it, all right? We still have, there is, 11 more traffic getting methods. We're going to dive into the agencies, which is super simple. There is also OPL method, which is super easy to do, right? There is so many other traffic getting methods I'm going to be revealing to you in this course. You will absolutely love this. Okay, now what I would say is this: listen, treat this as a buffet, right? Pick the stuff that you like. If you resonate with, going out there and trying out media buying, great, go at it. If not, listen, there's going to be more stuff for you to choose from, okay? I promise you, I'll have something for you. It's going to be awesome, okay? What I will tell you right now is this. As you're building your business, don't lose focus of your vision, okay? Traffic getting stuff can be, if you let this overwhelm you, right, you're not going to be in a very good position, okay? Treat this as a game. Look at this as a game. This is what I do for myself, is I look at it as a game that I'm playing, right? And it becomes a game for you. It becomes, don't get too serious. Don't take this too seriously, and that's, again, goes back to not spending a whole lot of money. Don't invest a lot of money in the beginning. Start small. Listen, I'm here for you. We're going to be, hanging out over the next few weeks. You're going to be learning a bunch of stuff. Get excited, get yourself ready, prepare some spreadsheets, get your notebook ready, start taking some notes on some of this stuff. is going to help you. I look forward to seeing you in the next module. Thanks for watching.